Warning, Coco Gauff's major weaknesses. Exposed. With a cost of Grand Slam. Glory? Trophy. The arena lights dimmed. Cameras flashed, and the crowd roared as Coco Gauff took her first steps to another center court showdown. She looked every but the champion. Calm, composed, and powerful. But beneath the poise and polish lay a question, whispered across locker rooms. Commentary boos and fan forums alike. Has the world finally discovered Coco Gauff weaknesses? In the glittering empire of professional tennis, perfection is illusion. Every champion, no matter how decorated, battles hidden flaws. And for Coco, now a global superstar, those flaws were slowly being pulled into the spotlight. The meteoric rise. At 17, Coco Gauff was an embodiment of possibility. Her first round went over. Venus Williams at Wimbledon was more than upset. It was a coronation. She was young, fearless, and magnetic. The crowd adored her. Sponsors lined up, and journalists declared her the future of tennis. But every future has its shadows. The early years were a whirlwind. Victories, commercials, magazine covers. Yet the rapid ascent meant she rarely had the luxury of growing quietly. Every swing was televised, every mistake magnified. Behind the smile was a teenager learning to navigate not just forehands and backhands, but expectations, pressure, and self-doubt. The cracks beneath the glory. Fast forward to 2025. Gauff, now an established top 10 player, stood at the edge of greatness. Her athleticism was unmatched. Lightning feet, explosive. Movement, a defensive fortress few could breach. But analysts began to notice what her brilliance often disguised. The technical cracks that refused to disappear. The forehand, that once unstoppable weapon, had become unpredictable against the game's biggest hitters. It sometimes broke down under pressure, flaring wide, dipping into the net, betraying her just when she needed control. The serve, her first serve, thundered at over 115 miles per hour. But the second, it wavered, too cautious, too short. Opponents pounced, turning defense into offense. Commentators described it as a paradox of Coco Gauff. She can outrun you, outfight you, outthink you, but can she outhit you when it matters most? The match that sparked the debate. It happened in Melbourne, the 2025 Australian Open. Quarterfinals, Gauff versus Aina Sabalenka, the defending champion. The match began with fireworks. Coco's speed, forced errors. Her backhand painted the corners, and the crowd fed on her energy. She took the first set 7-5. Then came the unraveling. Sabalenka began targeting her forehand, pounding it relentlessly. The rhythm shifted. Coco's timing faltered. Unforced errors multiplied like cracks in glass. By the third set, her frustration was visible. She screamed at herself mid-rally toss. A racket fought tears, and when the final forehand sailed long, the arena fell silent. The next morning's headlines were merciless. Gauff's forehand fails her again. Will technique stop talent from triumph? The anatomy of a weakness. Tennis insiders dissected. The flaws, her forehand grip too Western, her swing path too loopy under. Pressure, her contact point. Inconsistent, but deeper still was something psychological. Sports psychologist Dr. Elena Merrick explained it best. Coco's weakness is mechanical. It's emotional. Her forehand is a mirror. When she doubts, it tightens. When she believes, it sings. Every champion has a shot that reveals the truth of who they are. For Federer, it was the effortless forehand of confidence. For Serena, the serve of dominance. For Coco, it was a weapon, still searching for peace. The social, storm, social media, the amplifier of everything turned analysis into noise. Clips of her Miz hits flooded Twitter. How can a top 10 player still not fix? That forehand? Instagram Reels. Contrasted her 2019 highlight wins with her 2025 struggles. Fans argued. Experts debated. But Coco Gauff did what she always did. She absorbed the storm. In an interview after Melbourne, she said, softly, everyone has something to work on. The day I stopped learning is the day I stopped winning. Her maturity, even amid criticism, was stunning. But privately, she was restless. Training in silence. After the loss, Coco retreated from the limelight. No appearances, no endorsements, just practice. In a secluded training facility in Florida, she spent weeks breaking down her forehand stroke from scratch. Her coach filmed every session, slow motion, replays dissected her form frame by frame. Let's start again, he said. And she did. The process was grueling. She hit thousands of balls until her arm ached, sweat dripping into clay dust. She cried once, just once after session, where nothing felt right. But each day, something subtle improved. The contact, point shifted forward. The motion shortened. The spin became controlled, purposeful. By week 6, her shots carried not just speed, but clarity. She was rebuilding herself piece by piece. The mind game, physical corrections were easy compared to the mental ones. Coco began meditation, visualization. She replayed match points in her mind, picturing herself believing instead of doubting. A journal lay on her bedside table. Every night she wrote one line, "My weakness is my weapon in disguise." In interviews months later, she would describe this period as the hardest silence of my life. But it was also her rebirth. Paris, the return of the fighter. The clay of Roland Garros became her proving ground. The whispers were still there, critics doubting if she could hold under pressure. But when she walked onto court Phip Chatrier, her stride was different, measured, serene, her forehand crisp, controlled, relentless. Her opponents expected breakdowns. None came. By the second week, she had dismantled 3 top 20 players, each with a message. Don't confuse growth with stagnation. In the semifinals, she faced IG Swiatek again, a rivalry that defined their generation. Though she lost in 3 tight sets, the story wasn't defeat. It was evolution. Commentator Mary Curillo said it best. That forehand everyone mocked. It's now the heartbeat of her fight, the legacy, in motion, as a camera zoomed in before. Her next slam, Coco tied her headband, closed her eyes, and smiled. The crowd didn't see the thousands of unseen hours behind that smile, the rebuilding, the resilience, the private wars, no ranking to quantify. Her team stood courtside, watching the culmination of it all. The serve toss higher, the forehand struck clean. The movement flowed like music. The scoreboard read 6-3, 6-2, 4. Victory, but more importantly, balance. Later that night, when asked about her weaknesses, she laughed gently. They said my weaknesses would cost me, but maybe they're the reason. I'm still hungry. Epilogue, the unfinished symphony. The story of Coco Gauff isn't about perfection. It's about pursuit. Her weaknesses, once exposed to the world, became the forge in which her champion's heart was shaped. Every time the ball spins toward her forehand, the world holds its breath. And every time she strikes, there's a collective recognition. Greatness is not born flawless. It's born fearless. So will Her weaknesses cost a Grand Slam glory? Perhaps not, because the true champions are never the ones without flaws. They're the ones who dare to turn them into triumphs. And Coco Gauff under those. Relentless Lights is doing exactly that. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share.